It may be early March, but there's still a lot going on right now in the Georgia Bulldog football world between spring practice starting up, pro day right around the corner, and this is a big time for recruiting too. That's back up. We've got recruits coming in Athens over the next several weeks. I've got a lot to talk about that. There's still some stories about that over on the website too. Actually, there's a giant visitor list for March and into April over on Dawg Post, so make sure you go check that out. But today, we're talking about spring practice. It's starting up. Of course, G-Day is, I think, April 13th. A lot going on. And this is the time of year where, as someone who covers the team, I have to start asking myself, how does this team get better? They did not win the national championship last year. And I cover a team that I expect to compete for national championships every single year. And they will again this year. They're going to be very, very good for a lot of reasons. And I'm going to talk about it. But I've got to figure out, where did they fall short last year? How do they improve? What are the weaknesses, right? We could talk about the strengths for days, and we probably will over the next several months because there's a lot of strengths on this team. There's a lot to like, and there's a good reason why a lot of people, including myself, think that they could win another national championship. But you got to figure out the weakness, and you have to improve. So we're going to talk about that and where I think Georgia has to improve if they want to win another national championship. But let's start on the offense because I think there's a lot to like. You're set at quarterback. Carson Beck, one of the best college football quarterbacks for the next season, could be a possible top 10 pick this time next year if all things go according to plan. So you got your quarterback, one of the best in the game. Check. Running back, you're losing Kendall Milton, you're losing Daijun Edwards, but everyone's replaceable at running back. I mean, it's a revolving door at Georgia. They've got a lot of guys back there who have a lot of muscle on them. They're big guys. They're tackle breaking machines. They're chain movers. And they're going to run the ball successfully. I have no doubt about it. The offensive line is fine. I think a position battle to watch is right tackle. I think Xavier Truss is going to win that right tackle job over Monroe Freeling. But Monroe Freeling is the guy they love, and I think he will start there eventually. He played a good bit last year in a reserve role when guys like Amarius Mims went down against Vanderbilt, I believe. But you know, Xavier Truss came back for a reason, and it's like his 9th, 10th year with the team. And obviously joking, but it's probably his 5th, okay? I think he was in that 2019 class, though. But he came back for a reason. It's because I think he's going to start. I'd be shocked if he didn't start. Maybe it's at left tackle, but that is probably a Dylan Fairchild, Micah Morris situation or competition. Both are really, really good. At center, that's probably the only place where they're going to downgrade a little bit. Jared Wilson, though, is a guy with a lot of experience. You're not replacing Cedric Van Pran, maybe the best center of all time, in program history at least. You're not replacing him with a freshman or sophomore. Jared Wilson has been waiting his turn. He's been patiently waiting and learning. And I think that he is as good a replacement as you could ask for if he does win that job like I think he will. But you've got left tackle, left guard, whoever wins that job is going to be one of the best in college football, in my opinion. Right guard, Tate Ratledge, one of the best in college football. The offensive line is set. It is very, very good. At receiver, I made a video recently. They go 7 deep. They really do. Dylan Bell could be one of the best receivers in college football next year. Dom Lovett, we know what he can do. A healthy Ra Thomas is a weapon. Colby Young transferring in from Miami. Michael Jackson transferring in from USC. London Humphreys, who had a big touchdown against Georgia in that opening drive where everyone seemed to score against Georgia last year. He's coming in from Vanderbilt. You've got Anthony Evans, a speedy track star receiver coming back. You know, Tyler Williams is a former high 4-star guy that they signed last year. We'll see if that light switch can come on for him. I think he's very talented, but I think he had to learn a lot last year. And I don't think he progressed as much as maybe the coaching staff wanted, but he's a guy who could open some eyes. They're set at receiver. Do they have an alpha? Maybe someone emerges this spring. That's something I'm looking forward to. Who's going to take over that wide receiver number 1 role? Is it Dylan Bell? Is it Dom Lovett? Is it Colby Young? Ra Thomas, I don't think he's the guy, but I think he's still a weapon. And if Ra Thomas is your 4th or 5th best option at wide receiver, you're doing very, very good. That's a loaded group. At tight end, Oscar Delp is one of the best returning tight ends across college football. I don't know if the average college football fan knows who Oscar Delp is. They will this time next year. They will probably early in the season, or at least at the midway point. I do think he's going to take on a much bigger role. He's not going to replace Brock Bowers, but he will be more productive than he has been the past 2 years. I expect a lot of balls to come his way, and I think this time next year, we could be talking about Oscar Delp being one of the best tight end prospects in the 2015 draft. I think he's going to get drafted. Pulling for the kid, have since day one. I think he's going to have a monster third season as tight end one. Ben Yurcik coming in from Stanford. He's going to bring more experience and the ability to catch the ball down the field as well. I'd like to see how much Lawson Lucky and Pierce Sperlin emerge, how much they develop. They're really good too. In year two, those two would be competing for a starting job at a lot of other places. They're going to play this year. I don't know exactly how much, but they're really good players. I want to see how much they develop. Then the two incoming freshmen, especially Jaden Riddell, is a guy I've heard a lot about as well. Okay, on the defensive line, here's a weakness. It could be the defensive line. They did not play their best against Alabama, and that's a big reason why they lost. Alabama won the battle in the trenches. Do they have a game changer? Is someone going to emerge? Is Kristen Miller going to take that next step? Is Nazir Stackhouse going to go from a reliable, experienced starter to one of the best defensive linemen in the SEC and maybe across college football? What about Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins? This is like his fourth year in the program now. When he does occasionally play, he'll occasionally flash. There's a reason he was highly ranked. Is this the year where he steps up and says, hey, this has been my potential the whole time. I'm an NFL possible guy too, right? This is a money year for this guy. He needs to emerge and start making some plays. Kristen Miller's a promising defensive lineman. He'll be in his third year. Possible breakout year for him. You've got a lot of young guys. You got Jordan Hall. You got Jamal Jarrett, two guys from that 23 class that a lot of people were really high on. Two guys I think the Georgia staff wants to get going and be those guys. They both played last year in garbage time and sometimes not in garbage time. Jordan Hall, number 44, was out there. He's got the potential to be a possible Jalen Carter type, but he's got to get better. He's got to keep improving. And from what I know and understand about the kid, I think he has the potential to do that. So someone's got to emerge. On the edge, Mykel Williams, I think maybe playing more of a bigger outside linebacker role than your defensive end type, right? So I think there's sometimes where he'll be standing up, getting after the quarterback. Chaz Chambliss is returning at outside linebacker. So you've got Mykel Williams, who I think will play there a good bit, that jack linebacker position, if I got that right. But Jalen Walker is an outside linebacker too, who can play some middle linebacker. How much is he going to play next year? He's really talented. He's a really good player who flashed as a freshman in 2022. This is his third year. He needs to start being a guy who becomes a leader and a true playmaker. He's got that ability, and he's made sacks. He's made big plays, but he's not an every down guy. Is he going to play more this year? I think it's possible. You've also guys like Damon Wilson, who was a 5-star pass rushing specialist who played some last year. This is year 2 for him, and Gabe Harris and Sam Mpimba. One of those guys I think needs to emerge. So you've got a lot of potential, a lot of talent at that outside linebacker spot, a lot of pass rushers there. Then inside linebacker, we talked about for a while. Smile Munden, starting middle linebacker, one of the best in college football. C.J. Allen could be one of the best linebackers in college football this next year. Raylan Wilson has a lot of experience. Troy Bowles, who might play some safety. Justin Williams, a 5-star Butkus Award potential down the road. Chris Cole, who I think was a 5-star on an outlet or two this past year. They've got so much talent at inside linebacker. That's going to be a position that's fun to watch. In the secondary, you've got Dalen Everett at cornerback. Who else emerges? We've been hearing that Daniel Harris is a guy that continues to impress. He played a good bit actually against Florida State. Did he move up above Julian Humphrey on the depth chart? Will freshman Ellis Robinson come in and say, nah, y'all are good, I'm better. I'm the real deal. I'm a top 3 player in high school for a reason. I'm long, I'm athletic. I can lock down guys or have the potential to lock down legitimate SEC receivers. Maybe it's him. Who emerges at star? Janelle Aguero is a promising safety. Does he get moved around a little bit? who's going to play by Malachi Starks, who's one of the best safeties in college football. There's a lot to keep an eye on. David Daniels, an experienced safety who could see the field a little bit more. KJ Bolden is going to come in ready to play, ready to compete. I think we'll see him some this year as well. Chris Peel is a corner I think they really like, who brings a lot of speed as well. DeMello Jones is an incoming freshman. Maybe he gets a look at star. But there's, again, a lot of talent. You've got 2 legitimate starters coming back, one at safety, one at corner. And then there's spots for other guys to emerge and take hold of that position. So I think the secondary and the defensive line may be the 2 areas where I think they need guys to emerge and step up. Those could be possible weaknesses on this team if those guys who are in a position to win those starting jobs don't take advantage of that and don't grow and develop the way I think and others around the program think that they could. So just a few position battles, but overall, I'm looking at this team. There's not a lot of weaknesses at all. There's a lot of strengths, not a ton of weaknesses, but they're there. No team is perfect. Where might Georgia stumble? What position group could possibly hold them back from winning a national championship? You tell me in the comment section below. What are you looking for out of spring practice? Let me know in the comment section. You can sign up to Dawg Post again by signing up to our free newsletter. It's free. That link is down below in the description. Click that link, sign up for free, and check out some of the free stories we have over on Dawg Post. Really appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope to see you on the website.